Alright, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's another day. It's the 26th of December. We're nearly there. Now, an update. So basically, the left kneecap is pretty much healed already, I'd say. Left kneecap is definitely, uh, I think, yeah, the left kneecap is definitely capable of like fast walking again, right? Honestly, it's now just, okay, we're at 3 speed right now, right? We're at 3 speed right now, but it's not really painful, but definitely the last thing that has to heal up is the right ankle. Because if I, yeah, okay, the left kneecap's definitely improved a lot. It's really just the last, it's really just the last right ankle that is probably needing the healing the most. Hmm. So yeah, we're only going 3-0 right now. I'm not really gonna go any faster because the right the right ankle is still kind of just, yeah, it's the last thing that has to heal because I really can't apply too much pressure on the right ankle. And the left kneecap's already healed, so we're so close. We're just gonna have to endure a bit more slow walking for the mornings, but it's okay. I've got a new sim already. I mean, duh, it's so much easier than running. But I'm also gonna be dropping calories. We're dropping from 2,600 to 2,400, 100%. The reason is because it's been like nearly 2 weeks, I think, of 2,600 calories, and yeah, definitely gonna drop to like 2,400 for now. See how it goes, and then we'll increase it later again. So yeah, we really can't go faster than 3 speed today because I'm not sure how much the right ankle is healed or if it's gotten worse or not. Left kneecap's fine, right ankle's just, yeah, I have to be careful here because like I said before, we're just gonna have to endure this slow healing process. Because if I try to break it again, we probably won't even run for like another month. So yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. That's that's just how it goes. Okay, you're not gonna believe it, but 2 speed's actually better than 3 speed right now. Because I'm noticing at 3 speed that my right ankle's still clicking. Wait, let me try. Okay, going at 4 speed for like that long, the right ankle just gets destroyed. Such a shame. Such a shame. I'm gonna do some research. Okay, well, it seems like for that ankle, we literally all we have to do is just slow walk. That's really all we can do, which is what we're doing right now. I do want to go faster though. It's alright. No, dude. Okay, 3 speed is not working right now today at all. It literally is not helping the ankle one bit. I think it's because it's so fast. It doesn't let the right ankle struggling to like. I don't even know. Okay, wait. We actually can't do. Dude, I keep trying to go to 3 speed and it's annoying me because the right ankle is just so retarded. I don't know. Today feels like the right ankle is worse than usual. There's nothing to talk about today. I'm just annoyed that the right ankle is. It feels like okay. It's like the right ankle is worse than yesterday, but the left kneecap is doing better than ever. Worse than yesterday. Okay, I'm going back to 3 speed, and it's. I think it's doing better. Maybe because it's just my self belief or something. Don't know. I just realized something. Maybe it's because we're walking at an incline. Wait, let's go walk at a flat rate and just see what happens. Oh wow, I completely forgot we were walking at an incline. Huh? Wait a minute. Wait a minute, if we're walking flat and walking at 3 speed, it's a lot more. How did I completely forget about that? I really completely forgot about that. We were walking at an incline the entire time. But now 3 speed's a lot better because we're flat. Huh, who knew? I completely forgot that we were in an incline. No wonder the right ankle's struggling. Because at an incline, the ankle has to tilt more. Ah, that's my fault. Oh, wow, I literally can go full speed now. Yeah. So it was the incline. Whoops. Ah, I can walk at full speed. Okay, so we can walk at full speed now. At a lower incline. Makes sense. Dude, there's this ad on the TV that keeps showing like a portable, foldable pool. Might as well just get a spa because you're not doing anything in it. The only reason you would get a big pool is to swim in it, not just lay in it. If you're gonna just lay in it, get a spa. It's not like I have a spa though. Matter of fact, I don't even have a spa. I've been in a spa before, at the public, not pub, yeah, the water park. No, not water park. Is it called a water park? Indoor swimming pool facility. I've been in a spa before. It's disgusting. Well, only because there's like a whole bunch of old dudes always there. I remember that. There's like a spa, right? You have to pay. No, I think when you're younger, you can go in there for free, but like, there's like a spa section, right? A huge big spa, but there's always just old people chilling in it. It's like old Asian people, not Asian, just old people, right? They're just chilling in it, and like it's nice and warm, right? But it's disgusting because it's like 10 other people sharing the same water as you. I'm sure the filtration that's just public pools in general. Those bigger water pools, you know, still share the water with kids and everything. That's why the filtration and chlorine is so heavy because these people is just sharing so much water. Matter of fact, speaking of swimming, I haven't gone swimming in a while. Can I even still swim? Don't know. I haven't actually swam with this new body yet. Not really. Not really at all. Maybe later in the future. I don't know. Last thing I'd be doing is swimming in public. And if you're saying, well, if I don't want to swim in public, where should I swim somewhere else? I'd be like, well, I'm not going to swim in the ocean. That's retarded. And I'm not going to swim in the lake either, because that's also, to a degree, for what lake? I don't know, there's some lakes I know that are nice. No, never mind. I know some lakes, but still, at the Jelly Park, there's also okay, it's called Jelly Park. That's what it's called. Yeah, so we're actually managing to walk at full speed. Not too much complaining from the ankle. Definitely it's because we were trying to walk at an incline at full speed, so that's probably why. Probably that was why. But again, it's nothing to really talk about. Okay, one thing about this is that I'm literally about to fall asleep. It's so boring. This morning I woke up early, right, and that's pretty normal, but the more I walk on this treadmill, the more I just want to, like, sleep or something. Yeah, I actually want to walk 5Ks this time, so we're going to be overtime a bit. So I haven't been talking the whole time. I've been busy trying to fight the battle of sleeping and boredom, because this is extremely boring, but it's working. 3.1 miles is what we need for 5Ks. So 3.1.2, 2? No, whatever that means. We'll just continue our stroll. swing the arms for practice. Not much to talk about. But now that we have a goal in mind, 5Ks, I'm gonna just keep walking until then. Okay, that's gonna take forever. I already gave my word though, so you know what? It is what it is. I did give my word that we're gonna be reaching 5K, so we're gonna be over time. It's fine. I've dealt with this scenario before many times. But now my eyes are wide open because we have a goal. Hit 3.1 miles in a walk, which is pretty easy because I just have to maintain. It might take like another 10 minutes though. GG. It's alright. Maybe I could try 5 speed again. I'm gonna end up damaging my stuff again. Yeah, okay, hold on. Let's not do that. Okay, we're walking at 5 speed now. I think I'm determined to get 3.1 now. I gave my word and yeah, pushed you to pain. I'm damaging it, GG. But I can't stop now, can I? I need to, okay, let's just go back to full speed. I need to really just, it's a fight between just going for it, but then I'm gonna end up damaging myself. Okay, full speed's fine. Sorry, we just have to, it is what it is. Dude, I just wanna like, or whatever. I have to understand, I understand the game. There's no point of, sorry, just chill. Yeah, that guy is zesty. He's zesty and dancing. He's sus dancing. Where's that guy go? If it's a girl, then I've been mistaken. Can't see. Yeah, it's looking like a girl. No, it looks like a guy. I can't tell. Whoever it is gay. No, it looks like I can't tell. Dude, I want to go faster because we're only at 2.5 and we're already at 50 minutes in walking. So, you know, we can't go 5 speed. 5 speed's actually going to damage us so much. Alright, we're over time now. It is what it is. But I gave my word, so I really just can't. It is what it is. It is what it is. I gave my word that we'll be hitting 3.1 miles, regardless of how long it takes. It's okay. But we move so slow. But we can't go any faster because then the joints get destroyed. Are you even recording? I have a suspicion you're not even recording because when I connected a hotspot, you are. I'm stupid. I'm gonna go 5 speed. I don't care at this point. It's annoying me how we're not even. I don't want to be. It's like, screw it. I did give my word, but I refuse to be under 1 hour of doing this thing. Oh, the left kneecap. The left kneecap is. Okay, shit. Okay. We're just gonna. This is very frustrating because we're nearly at an hour of doing this. We're not even close to 3.1, but the ankles and left kneecap are crying because I'm trying to. Okay. Okay, now, okay, full speed's getting worse. No, damage. Shut up. Finally. That was most annoying. Yeah, that was very annoying. But I gave my word. That was actually annoying though. That took too long. Elapsed time 56 minutes. Distance 3.13, which is 5Ks. So yeah. I mean, of course, it's because at the beginning we were doing speed too, but yeah, I destroyed it. That's my fault. I definitely did scuff some things up. Oh, I actually scuffed it. That's my fault. And all that talk about resting it, then I pull off something like that. My fault completely. That was actually really stupid of me. I don't know. I will sleep even earlier today than because sleeping early definitely heals it. You know, the left kneecap was doing absolutely fine until the last 10 minutes where I just started going fast. I'm, uh, it is what it is. Yeah, anyways, we're going to 2,400 calories. Gonna cut a bit, cut 200 calories off. Yeah, so 2,400 calories is what we're gonna go for. Today I'm actually feeling hungry though, not gonna lie. Hmm, my legs are kind of white now, huh? I really need to absorb more sun on the legs. Matter of fact, I haven't absorbed much sun recently, I'm gonna be honest. It's because when I go outside, I'm wearing long pants. You know, now I think about it, right? I used to get a lot of sun. Do I really just get white again after like, I used to be a lot more tanner when I was getting sun nearly daily, as in like full sun, but right now, currently, I can't really get full sun. But yeah, I guess you just turn white again after a while, huh? I used to be a lot more tanner. Used to be a lot more tanner. Alright, y'all know the goat exercise though. Y'all know the goat already. It's right here. What the hell? Why does it look so messy here? Dude, we're so late. Holy that's insane. The overtime went crazy, but as much as that's annoying, and to be honest, as much as we're like super overtime, right? Golden hour is a lot more longer today because like there's literally no one here. All the regulars are gone. So as much as I'm annoyed that we are nearly 20, 10 minute, 10, 20, 10 to 20 minutes late, at the same time, is golden hours here. Well, I know golden hour is a lot more extended today because I highly doubt anyone's gonna be here. It's already proven. All of the regulars aren't even here, anyways. It's literally one digit people here. This again, today's not really much to talk about though. I really can't think of anything to talk about. That's kind of heavy. Yeah, there's literally zero things to talk about. Can't think of anything interesting to talk about because yesterday we already talked about ecosystem. We already talked about ecosystems and stuff. There's nothing to talk about. Oh, I do know something though. Hmm. I think it's. I think I have something to talk about. Anyway, yeah. So even though we're kind of like a bit late, I don't really mind because right now it's the golden hour is crazy today. There's literally, I kid you not, it's basically just me. It's just like it's literally just two people here, me and someone else. Literally, that's it. No one else is here. So yeah, there is something to talk about. But I want to drink some water first. But there is definitely a topic that is in my brain right now, and it's from Sensei, of course. This towel keeps falling off, but yeah, okay. That is always just like the best back exercise, I reckon. Don't know, can't really think of. Well, of course, pull-ups is better. Pull-ups is a lot more functional, but this is good. I just can't landmine rows. Literally, Like so good. I swear it's better than barbell bench row. It's better than deadlifts and stuff. I think it's because it's just maybe it's because my height. Not really sure. Maybe that is one thing that is a possibility. That due to my height, this is actually really good. I'm not really sure how it might be for taller people, but for me it's good. One thing I do know is that maybe for deadlift and barbell rows, due to my height, I don't get the same amount of feelings or stimulation in the back to compared to this one. Maybe it might be my height. Maybe there's one thing to consider, but it's good for me though. I like it. It's good. Let's get this done. I guess there was literally a topic. No, I'm pretty sure I talked about it yesterday though. Pretty sure I talked about it though yesterday. Think I already did though. That's the thing. Think I already talked about it yesterday. But what we're gonna do is gonna do some lat pull downs and then we're gonna check our weight and then we could continue talking. I'm pretty sure I talked about the topic yesterday though, but it's like a repeat. Sure, I talk about it. It is about ecosystems, but maybe I'll lean into one ecosystem for once and talk about it from a that POV. Oh yeah, we haven't been eating muesli much, have we? No, we've just been eating rice recently because of so much rice. You know, I'm struggling to eat it right. Matter of fact, I am actually struggling to eat the rice. No joke. I am struggling. The rice is definitely slowly a struggle because it's like just so much, so dense. But you already know that I'm gonna spend a tiny bit extra time to swap out this one for this one because this one's it's not much of a difference, but I like the new one. Look at it, so much glossier. Sorry, I don't know what I'm doing. Just let me be. I like this one. We gotta check our weight and then we can talk about the topic if I can still remember it by then. It's definitely a long topic, but that's why I want to get check the weight and get the water done so I don't lose track. I can never lat pull down my own weight yet. Not yet. I can do a pull up, but like can't do it for reps. Righty ho. Let's check the weight. And I realized that since we are so close to the weight thing, the walking towards it isn't that long. Alright. What are we guessing here? Don't even know. 69? Can't. Don't know. 68? 69? Hmm. Basically 69. Caught it. 68.8. It is. I would 100%. I know it's the rice. 100% the rice. Y'all remember like 2 days ago we were like 67 again? And now we're like 69 again. Weight fluctuates. Weight fluctuates a lot. It fluctuates a lot. But yeah, we're also going to be lowering the calories to like 2,400. 2,400 calories is definitely what we're going to change it to. Actually, no. No, never mind. We can't. We need to stick to 2,600 until. Can't. It's still 2,600 because I just remembered that the I used the other calorie calculator and it says 2,400, but after I did a more tailored version with AI and slightly bumped. And I do trust the AI because I do trust the AI's calculator one more because it's got significantly more context than the other one. The other one's just yeah, and my routine's not normal. Can we finally talk about the topic? Yes. Okay. So old sensei, basic. Okay. So this topic is about. It's about. I mean, okay. So love and relationships or something like that. Okay. So old sensei would basically say something like, find, one that basically just listens, submissive, obedient, right? The usual, the one that doesn't really do much except listen and be a little pretty trophy, you know? And then also, Sensei today is talking about how, I could tell he's getting tired. He's like, nothing's real. It's a business transaction, and then he can't actually find a real kind of he can't find an ecosystem of love that is what his parents did, and all of our parents as well. Today's generation ecosystem of love is almost purely transactional. I give you this, you give me that. Transactional based. Moment both sides stop giving each other what they want, then it's gone, right? They just, it's the ecosystem in today's world is so volatile and replaceable. It's like one bad thing or one wrong transactional thing we're just instantly replaced. Like, if a man does something wrong, the girl would just go find a new guy instantly at the club or something. I'm talking about this ecosystem. Obviously, there's different ecosystems, right? I'm talking about the one. I'm talking about the ecosystem Sensei, old Sensei taught. That his ecosystem's basically just you know Instagram girls or social media ones, those ones, right? So it's purely transactional based, and when the relationship's transactional, right? If the man stops providing his side of the deal, then the girl will leave him. If the girl doesn't doesn't provide her part of the deal, like some wrong thing or wrong opinion or wrong action, the guy will just replace her instantly with another girl because there's so many options that he doesn't even have to stick with it. And then that's why the love's so transactional in that ecosystem. Hold on. So the love's more like a transactional business thing, not an actual. Not Sensei is definitely looking for the love. He's looking for the ecosystem where love is like what his parents felt, what everyone else's parents felt. Right? That love ecosystem's considerably, significantly a lot different because in the old ecosystem there was no social media. Getting a replaceable woman was way harder because one, there's no social media, right? You can't just like open up your DMs and pick a brand new pretty thing. So you would actually have to go out and look for one, right? But most of the time, the old ecosystem of love was like from high school or university, all hours together, right? Hours together every day. So that bond is like way better than just going. So what I'm saying is that Sensei in today's year definitely is. He's like talking about how he's kind of after so much of this new ecosystem he's experienced, he realizes that the love he kind of wants more is the one that his parents did, which is like not not really transactional, but pure like love. Now, of course, depends on what you mean by love, but I think it's about. I mean, at the same time, okay, crap. Now I'm putting my anomaly. Now I'm putting my anomaly thinking out again. But like, okay, if I put my anomaly thinking out, it doesn't really. It really depends on what they want. But yeah, that's just a random thought. Not random thought, but that's just something I noticed, right? Because after some research yesterday, noticed that the difference is really big. Because when I do my research, I could explore multiple ecosystems at a significant rate without any kind of real. I fast forward life pretty much. So, oh man, this is why we try to drink the water and to wait fast because the talking will go over time. So as I was saying, yeah, the ecosystem is significantly different because of social media and just how, yeah, that's definitely also why the current generation birth rates are low because there's just too many options. I'm not really sure what I'm actually trying to say here. I'm just saying that I can understand Sensei's kind of want of the older relationships, which means like, not really looking for transactional pure. I mean, technically, okay, from another perspective, in today's transaction ecosystem, you're pretty much just buying a slave, if you think about it, right? Because I'm gonna go to jail. You just you pay for your girlfriend's life, her food, the roof under her head, and the moment she does something wrong, you stop all the payments. So basically, just enslavement, just in like yeah. I mean, if you really, yeah, that's and then old sensei would teach us that you have to look at it from the girl's perspective. Would you date you? Would you date yourself? Right? And then when I think about that ecosystem, it's like, okay, if I was, if I were to date myself, that would be pretty miserable because so all I do is just sit at home, do nothing. He pays for my food, he pays for my water, he pays for my bills, he pays for the roof under my head. But I can't like, if I do anything wrong, he'll just stop the payment and I'm gonna become homeless and work a job. But at the same, it's like purely transactional based, like a slavery to a degree. Well, yeah, technically, mixed is just basically, you don't even live with them. You just you live in your own apartment room. You don't really do much except whenever he calls you and you come over, it's either just fucking or chilling. But then he just moves away. But then also from another POV, I understand that you want them to not live with you because then you're gonna get soft because all you're doing is spending time with them, and then you're gonna become like not yeah, so many ecosystems clashing together now because you could also understand from a different POV, the life of just being with one woman every day, happy, have kids. That ecosystem's good. It's not bad. Just not what I would look at because I'm an anomaly, but that's also what Sensei doesn't want either. But then it's also yeah, it's just so many ecosystems clashing in my mind that I cannot side with one. That is why I do not choose. That's why my ecosystem doesn't really dabble into that. My ecosystem doesn't dabble into that, but you can there's no like that dark. There's no right choice. There's no wrong choice. You could always mix it up. But I think when you get only problem is once you kind of choose one path or one ecosystem, you're kind of stuck with it, or unless you're like this. Like for example, if you really chose like the ecosystem where it's just one person, right? You could. I mean, it really just depends because you have to be. You can't deceive them. That's the thing. You can't just go, oh, one day, you say you give your word that it's just one and one, and then that's why they join you, right? That's why they join you, and then you just what forget your word. That's this that's not good, not good, right? So like you have to make it clear if you're really trying to open yourself up. You'd be like, in the future, I want like another one. You still wanna join? If they say no, then they say no. It really just depends on the ecosystem. I'm not even sure what this topic is about. It's just basically me analyzing old sensei and new sensei and how ecosystems work. So new sensei's he's craving the old kind of ecosystem that his parents adopted, which made him, right? And then now his oldest version was advocating for the new ecosystem of dating, which is just purely transactional based, right? But then as he gets older and as the sensei got older, now he's older now and he's realizing as he gets older that this old this new ecosystem of love, the transaction is getting tiresome because he's just going through it and it's not much going on. Does that make sense? That makes sense, I think, kind of. Yeah, it's just multiple ecosystems, multiple lifestyles, multiple eras. But and again, when I bring it to my ecosystem, what is the purpose of it? Why do you need one? What is it to you? You know, it's like okay. They also it also depends on what you want as well. It's like if you have a child, what is a child? Why do you want a child? What do you want it to be a clone of yourself? Do you want it to be something different? Do you want to be a project? You know, at the same time, it's like okay, if I do I want a warrior? Do I want an intellectual one? You know, really just depends. It's like a game, picking stats and stuff. It actually is just a game. Sadly, not sad, but it is actually just a game though. We are basically overtime. Wow, we are super overtime. But again, golden hour is like literally zero. No one's here except for like one person. Matter of fact, I don't even know where they are. Did they slip past me when I was talking too much? Huh. Wait, I think it's just us here. It doesn't really matter. Oh, would you look at that, ladies and gentlemen? It is just us here again in our little private. Oh, isn't that nice? It's private again. So huge. Get this dirty one out of my face. Get this new one. It's not new, but you get the gist. This tower just touched that. GG. Don't wipe my face on that. Huh. This whole place is empty. So this is basically the same as when we went to the private gym. It's basically just empty again. No one's here. I mean, there might be one more guy over here, but I can't see him from a naked eye perspective. Don't see anyone else. Huh. Well, then I'm not really too worried about being late, considering that no one else is here anyways. What the hell? What the fuck? Oh, this thing's broken. What? Oh, it's busted. It's busted at 65 kgs. That's a shame. It's alright though. Not really worried, but this place is empty now, completely. It's just ours again. Oh, you good? You're good. Actually, no, it's not empty. It's like there's one more bloke. There is one more person here, but again, he's so far away that it's like basically mine. This place is pretty much empty. Golden hour is probably, I think it's because everyone's like drunk or something, right? I don't know. Isn't it a quick Christmas party or something? No one's here though. That's good. Still got some more things to do. Excellent. So yeah, no one's here. Anyways, crap. This is what happens when we go off topic for 1 second. Forgot what I was saying. What was I saying? What was I saying? Oh yeah, talking about ecosystems, right? About relationships and stuff. What else did I say? What else did I say there? It just depends on the ecosystem you want and how basically it's a video game. It's I would say that if you look at it from the video game perspective, right? Depending on the ecosystem, right? If you kind of, in my eyes, it's kind of like the moment you stick your pee in something that kind of it's like a permanent lock on the ecosystem you choose. You know, because super dece- super deceptive in my eyes if you don't tell them your intentions and then you what just abandon them. That's I don't in my eyes that's super you're gonna deceptive, right? You don't tell them your intentions and you stick your pee in them. That's you've basically just tainted their entire. It's like the karmic retribution will get you pretty hard for that. That's why yeah, you'll get super bad karmic retribution. That's super deceptive. Deceivious? Deceptive? What is it called? But pretty much, if you don't tell them your intentions, you stick a pee in them, or matter of fact, give them a child, depending on your morals, or I mean, at the end of the day, it really just depends on your morals. I guess to a degree, you can be a bit more cold and just kill them, or like just get rid of them. It is what it is. But it just really depends. Really, really depends. Just yeah. I think it reminds me of a student's thing once. Hold on. Ah, yes, I remember now. There was this one student I had to kind of lecture because what he did was pretty bad. Pretty much his story. I remember it because it's pretty clear. It was pretty bad though. His story was it's pretty sad. Not sad, but it's just like he's gonna get pretty bad karma retribution if he went through it. I don't know where he went. He just said it, and then after lecturing him, he just stopped talking. But he basically said that he had like this high school sweetheart. Yeah, so him and this high school girl grew up together. Dated, right? Dated. Kind of. Like basically old ecosystem era. They were at school together. They went, together, high school together, relationship, moved in together for apartment. Now they're in college or like university together, right? And then all of a sudden he's like, he asked in the chat, or he asked, he's like saying something like, you know, I promised this girl marriage. I promised this girl kids. We've been together for this many years. We grew up together, blah blah blah. But then he's like, I I went to a club and there's so many other pretty girls. Should I? Oh, I think it was actually worse. He was like, I got her pregnant, and then now I want to get another thing. He wants to get like another girl, and I was like, but you promised, you gave your word already. I know you're younger and you gave your word, but you already got this thing pregnant. You already got your sweetheart pregnant, and now you're looking for a new thing, right? But it just seems super deceivious because you gave your word and everything, right? And all of a sudden, now that's like that cheating's on a different level because if you made it clear that you were planning to get more than one, would you still stay together? Would you still fuck? Would you still have a child together, knowing that I want another one in the future? Would you still do it? Be clear about it. Then it's okay. But the fact that he didn't and gave a word on something completely different, that was pretty bad. He got definitely some bad karmic retribution because you would destroy that other person's life. That's pretty bad. Not gonna lie, it's pretty bad. I wonder what happened to him. But yeah, that was pretty bad. Matter of fact, that's the same kind of scenario of the research I read like 2 days ago. Same kind of scenario, but worse because obviously in the story, like the story lesson lecture thing, they actually killed themselves. It's pretty bad, but yeah. Ecosystems, man. Ecosystems, so many things. Just kind of, you just have to really, how do I say it? Your word is very important. You gotta give your word, and especially when it comes to another human being, depending on your morals, though. Again, it really just depends on your morals. To a degree, you can just, I mean, I'm an anomaly. I can see both sides, right? I can see, okay, the reason why I could see it is because, remember I just said recently, a couple like minutes ago, how old sensei will teach us that you have to look at it from the female's perspective, right? Which is, you put yourselves in their shoes, yeah? And then you'll realize that it's pretty dog and deceptive if you were in their position, right? And considering that the difference is compared to like a male, right? If you're a male can, how to say it? Because a female's body's like more bound. Like once you're pregnant or like once you get a PP in you, you're like It's like already a bond. But for a male, you could just find a new one, right? But then you're just creating a bunch of really, it just depends. Ecosystems, okay, but if you look at it from a super cold perspective, right? It is just a human at the end of the day. You could just get a new one. It is what it is. Who cares? Just get another one. Who cares? I can see it from both sides. It's pretty simple. It's like if you look at it from a cold angle, logical angle, it's like okay, who cares? Just get another one. It's just a human being. Who cares? It is what it is. Who cares? Just get another one. Oh, I don't care. But then if you put yourself in the other perspective, it's like pretty might there's definitely some karmic retribution going on around there. What else is there? Yeah, and I think it's 4 5s. But wait, so basically that is probably a reason why my ecosystem just doesn't allow any of it. Just avoid the entire mess completely because it's not worth it. It's too many, too complex. Not too complex, but it's just super. It's a pretty big mess. Not really sure what I'm saying anymore, but hopefully maybe you can tell from that explanation that it's super complex because from an ecosystem of anomaly you can see both sides and you can swap so fast. It's like I could be cold, be like, oh, I don't give a shit, next one, done. But then you could also access the other POV where it's like, okay, but if you're in their position, that's pretty sad. If you're in their position, that's pretty dog and deceptive and betrayal, and that's pretty sad, right? It's like wow, that's dog. But then also it's like, for example, the difference is when it's a man, right? Okay, let's say the girl like cheated on the man after she gave the man her words. The man's just like, okay, that's fine. I'll just go get a new one done. But then when it's in the other position where the female, when the male gave the word, but then the male left, the female still tainted from the guy's PP in her, still has child as well. If it's that scenario, it's like it's way more worse. It's like okay, ecosystem is if the female just cheats or does something bad, you just leave her, right? Because she knew the rules and she cheated, so then it's acceptable for you to just find a new one. But then when it comes with the girl, then it's like she's a lot more blood bounded, like genetically wise, I guess, whatever you call it. Just really depends on the ecosystem, but yeah, it's just it's just the ecosystem, man. And then, but again, from the anomaly side, it's just like cold. Who cares? But there's like a level of karmic retribution, I guess you could say. It's like when the female or when the other side doesn't do when the other side betrays or lies or deceptive, then you can be cold and be like, okay, I'll just get a new one done. But if you gave a word and the person has done nothing wrong, like has didn't break any of the rules you guys set, and you decide to just find a new one anyways, that is what I would call a bit deceivious. And karmic retribution would definitely, it's not a good look. I wonder how these words will correlate into the future. Definitely wonder how they will correlate into the future. But yeah, you could tell from that talk is like ecosystems are very complex. Not com. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just mumbling, but I think you guys understand what I'm saying, right? It's like just think of it as karmic retribution. Anyways, we're actually solo. We were actually solo here. This place is empty. Golden hour is. Oh, I keep hitting the tripod. Now I must check if the recording's still recording because sometimes the camera stops recording and it might cut out everything I said. Nope, it's still recording. We've been here for like 2 hours already. Way more than 2 hours actually. We've been here for like, I don't know, whatever. Definitely overtime, but it's okay. But yeah, that's that's that for you. You know, that is that for you. Do you guys understand what I said? Hopefully you guys do. I know it's kind of a mess talking about it, but it makes sense. Karmic retribution is definitely important. You have to remember that. Super important because it makes logical sense. Only to humans, though, I would remind you that I don't give a shit about animals. Don't give a shit. I'll lie to animals because animals are animals. Who cares? Now I'll be cold to animals, but to another human species, I'm humans on top. You know what I mean? Hold on, I'll be back. Is the mic still connected? Oh, it is. That's good. Sorry, had to. Since we're overtime already, usually by the time I'm usually at HQ now, and the first thing I do when I arrive at HQ is guess what? Leave. Yes, there's anything else to talk about? I swear all we talk about is just ecosystems now. All we do is just ecosystems, ecosystems. Might just end it here. Okay, well, is there anything else to really say? Not really. Yeah, just ecosystems of. It's just so many ecosystems that's why my anomaly ecosystems just avoid it for now. Yeah, sounds about right to me. It's like, oh, so much, just eh, whatever. I'll ignore it for now. My ecosystem can easily reject it, considering that I could live forever. So, well, okay, no, what you know what I mean. Men age men age differently compared to females. Very unfortunate for the female ecosystem, right there, bro. Bro, they're like, just realize all the females in my old like era generation, they're getting old. Oh my goodness, that's all right. It is what it is. Oh well, I'll be cold about it. It is what it is. Wait a minute, this is a cardio thing? Oh, I completely forgot this is a cardio thing. Wait a minute, I completely forgot this is a cardio thing. I completely forgot this is a cardio thing. I've only been using it for traps. I completely forgot that you can walk on this thing. Maybe we'll try it tomorrow. You know what? Maybe we'll try this tomorrow. But do I want to give my word? No, not really. All right. Anyways, think think that's enough today, ladies and gentlemen. That was a pretty long session. Very, very long. Overtime, just by a tiny bit. Oh yeah, there's no speed camera today. I'm definitely putting my face in their database though, right? Because same location, same recording incident, same face, same guy. You know, I'm in their database. Great, I like it. Why not? Definitely in the database now because 100% in their database is like this is the same street, same time, same guy, same confrontation, same questions. Where's your lights at? Nah, nah. Still, hey, yesterday was the only reason I went there yesterday was because they were super deceivious. Super. That karmic retribution is pretty bad for them, not gonna lie. Because, eh. I mean, I'll be honest though, as much as you can argue that speed camera is unfair, in the future it's just gonna be full speed cameras anyways, you know? But for now, they have to stay true to their kind of karmic retribution, whereas you need to be visible. But the moment they don't do that, then it's fine. Because, I mean, what is it? They're going to check your speed anyways. I always say this, but they already know you're speeding. They just sooner or later. Yep. Well, that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate it. Yeah. Hopefully, you guys learned some more ecosystem stuff. If you guys, what ecosystem are you guys in? I don't really know. Matter of fact, I don't even know the knowledge about the younger generation's ecosystem. Might be more cooked. Might be significantly more cooked than. Matter of fact, I need to end this, but I remembered back in high school, I already saw the ecosystem change. It's like my year 13 group, no one was like, everyone was just like dormant, right? But then, like, I think 2 years younger, bro, these like juniors in high school, they were like already banging. It's like, what the hell? Damn. Maybe the ecosystem is different. Nah, it's pretty cooked. Oh well, it is what it is because end of the day, if I look at it from a cold POV perspective, I already know that their generation is not going to have kids, so we'll just import anyone. Just give Yo, what's up? Alright, I'm gonna give you guys a Mr. Nightmare episode today because we got the time. Alright, what was the last thing we looked at, by the way? I can't exactly remember what we looked at last time. I think it was True Home Alone stories, right? We did 2 out of 4, so I guess we just finished the rest. So, if I remember correctly from my memory, first one was about... I think it was grandpa leaving the kid alone, and then the kid's crazy neighbor, yeah. And then the first one was like the big brother leaving the little brother.
One of my mutual friends from school, who I'll refer to as Mason.
I skipped too fast.
His voice changed. I was seated deliberate role. Him leave. They never called the cops to press charges on him.
Yep.
And I never saw him again.
So your grandpa killed that guy, probably. All right.
My grandpa was respected in the community. He was friends with, as well as went to the same church as some police officers, and was known to be a good hunter. No one would ever night.
All right, story 3 by Nate. Let's have a look, shall we? So analyzing. Let's analyze
this. Story happened a few years ago during spring break in 2020 when I was 15.
Okay, 15 years old.
I was home alone one night while my
15 years. I think. Wait, didn't we discuss that the legal age was like 14? So this guy or girl is allowed to be at home alone. So 15 years old, that's pretty matured already. So you'll be fine.
Parents were out of town. I was just hanging out in my room when I got a call from one of my mutual friends from school, who I'll refer to as Mason. I don't usually get calls from Mason, let alone texts or keep in touch with him, but I answered anyway.
Who is it?
Before I could get a word out, he asked what I was doing. I told him I was just at home and wasn't up to anything. He then asked if he could drop off one of my buddies because he needed a place to stay for the night. This buddy of mine is someone I've known since 3rd grade, who I'll refer to as Neil.
Nah.
I basically told him I didn't feel like having company over and just wanted to chill by myself. After hearing this, Mason practically begged me to let Neil stay at my house.
What?
I could sense desperation in his voice as he pleaded with me to let him drop Neil off.
Who's Neil? So you don't know this guy and you're gonna... What? No.
I was still reluctant at first, but then Mason told me he'd let me use his weed pen if I let him drop off Neil.
What a... Drop... You don't even know this guy, you're just letting a stranger into your house. Why?
After he said that, I caved and told him they could pull up. Looking back, I realized how dumb I was to let something like that persuade me, considering what happened next. But I was a stupid pothead at the time, so what can you do?
Pothead.
Neil has always been very outgoing, almost with zero filter, and he doesn't care what others think.
Wait, so you know who this guy is?
So when I heard from my brother and other friends the week prior that he had started acting really weird in his classes, I didn't think much of it at first. I asked my brother to elaborate, and he told me that Neil would sometimes start laughing or clapping out of nowhere, even if the classroom was completely silent.
He's on drugs.
He'd sometimes say very strange things to people for no reason.
He's on drugs.
Like claiming the basketball coaches were Freemasons trying to convert him. After hearing this, I realized Neil wasn't acting normal, and it wasn't until he and Mason arrived at my house that I understood how bad it really was. I met Mason and Neil at my front door and greeted them like any other day. I hit Mason's weed pen as promised and gave it back. As Mason was about to leave, he grabbed Neil by the shoulders in a very serious way, tears forming in his eyes, and he pleaded with him not to do that thing. Neil looked at him blankly and casually responded that he understood.
What?
I really should have asked what was going on, but for some reason, I didn't, and I let Neil inside as Mason left. After I closed the front door, the first thing Neil asked me was whether all the doors in the house were locked. Red flags immediately went off in my head, and I knew I had just gotten into something bad. I told him they were locked and asked why. He asked me to check, so I led him down the narrow hallway by the front door to show that the back and laundry room doors were both locked. He didn't say anything after I confirmed it, and we stood in silence for a few seconds. Then, out of nowhere, his hand shot up like he was raising it, and he put on this eerie, toothy smile that I can still see clearly in my mind. He held it for a few seconds before lowering his arm without saying a word. I forced a fake chuckle to make the situation seem less weird. Then, Neil asked for some water, so we went to the kitchen. As I grabbed bottles from the fridge, I noticed him lingering by the drawer with silverware, including the knives.
What is going on? What? I don't understand. So do you know this guy or not? And, you know, it's, GG. That guy's gonna...
I watched as he slowly opened the drawer and reached for a steak knife.
What?
Without thinking, I ran over, grabbed his hand before he could take it, and slammed the drawer shut.
What are you doing?
Neil didn't react or move.
Get out of my
He
house.
just stared at me and let out a chuckle like he was pretending it was a joke.
What? Get out of my
At
house.
that moment, I could feel my heart pounding in my ears,
What?
and I was frozen in fear. The kind of fear people describe in life or death situations.
Oh my goodness.
I had never felt like my life was in danger until that moment, and I could only focus on how I was going to get Neil out of my house. He finally broke the silence by suggesting we go to the park in the neighborhood. I agreed as if nothing happened. We walked to the laundry room leading to the driveway, and I intentionally let him out first.
Close the door behind him.
I told him I needed to put shoes on, which I did. He paused and subtly looked disappointed, telling me to hurry up. I shut the door, locked it immediately, and called my brother to explain what had just happened. After finishing the call, I grabbed every knife in the kitchen and brought them upstairs to my room.
What?
Keep in mind, I was stoned at the time, so my decision-making wasn't perfect. But I knew I needed to prevent Neil from forcing his way back into the house. My brother arrived with 3 friends in less than 5 minutes.
Yo, hold on now. That'd be brother.
Neil outside. I stayed inside for a few minutes, nervous, then went out. My brother and friends were talking to Neil, who was rambling about the school's basketball coaches being in the Illuminati and claiming they would sexually assault the boys on the team to make them play better.
Yo, hold on now.
He continued talking nonsense for a few minutes. Then we decided to get him home, because there was no way I was letting him stay under my roof after what had happened. One of my friends eventually took Neil home, even though he insisted he couldn't go because he believed his dad was going to kill him. After all of this, I called Mason to ask what Neil had said to him that made him act that way, and Mason explained that during the car ride, Neil had been reading a manifesto claiming he needed to kill himself or someone else to prevent his dad from trying to kill him.
That's such an L Mason friend. What the hell? If he said that, why would you drop him off at your mate?
Mason had panicked and just wanted to get rid of Neil, which explains why he sounded so desperate to drop him off at my house earlier.
L friend.
After hearing this, I lost my mind and asked Mason why he would just dump Neil at my house
Facts.
without warning me.
For real.
Though I knew part of the fault was mine for not asking sooner.
Nah, that's still L friend.
Later, it was revealed that Neil had taken drugs he shouldn't have, which triggered schizophrenic episodes.
Wait, but didn't you just say that you don't even talk to Mason? Like he's not even a mate of yours? That's such a... What a dog. Nah. Still, that's such a weird situation. Honestly. Very weird. And also, it's like, the person telling the story was stoned at 15, so I really don't really care. They're young taking drugs anyway, so who cares?
And caused him to hear voices. About a month later, I told my mom the story, and she was not thrilled, to put it lightly. Needless to say, I avoided something truly horrific that night by
Maybe change the group of friends, my friend. Your group of friends are not very good for you. So change the group of friends, and that's basically it. Just change the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with, because clearly you're not spending the right... You're not on the right ecosystem.
On edge when Neil entered the house, and I still think about what could have happened if I hadn't paid attention to him in the kitchen.
That story was just retarded. Like, dumb on both sides. Honestly, I would just blame the storyteller, because it's your fault for putting yourselves in such a group of friends. That's really just your fault, honestly. As much as you can blame Mason, you can blame Mason as much as you want, but still it's still his fault. The storyteller, the 15-year-old guy. It's still your fault for being in such a group of friends. You know? Literally, it's just your group of friends. Some of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So, retard, I don't care. Stoned. Story 4, Brando. It's another guy.
I was 10 years old when this happened.
Okay, 10.
My mom had gone grocery shopping that day, and she asked if I wanted to come. I remember
I already said this. If it's a kid, you don't negotiate with them. You just bring them with you. Oh my, this mum and 10-year-old kid, GG.
making a big stink about not wanting to. It was a warm, sunny afternoon, and I just wanted to stay home and shoot hoops in the street.
What kind of neighborhood is that? Okay. 10-year-old kid shooting hoops in the street. So let me guess, the basketball hoops in the driveway, yeah? So you must be in a safe neighborhood, right? The mother's not that dumb, right? Your mother wouldn't just leave the 10-year-old kid home alone. Matter of fact, home alone and the kid's outside just showing himself to the entire street that he's playing basketball. Someone's totally not going to pull up with a car and just kidnap him, huh?
I told her nothing bad would happen, and she would only be gone for a couple of hours.
Couple of hours? But you're a 10-year-old. And you're outside already, shooting hoops in your driveway with no parents nearby. And your mom's just going to be gone for a couple hours. Why would she even let you have the choice to stay? Just grab the kid and go shopping. Why would you let him go? It's already over. I can read this.
She finally gave in and let me
You don't negotiate though. You don't negotiate with kids.
stay. As soon as she pulled out of the driveway, I
What?
grabbed the old basketball from the garage and started shooting around in the street.
Let me guess. A neighbor saw your mom drive away. And then the neighbor's like, oh, look, Timmy, Brandon, he's alone now. The mother left to go shopping. And he's shooting hoops in the street. Let's kidnap him. GG. What? There's better be like a safe neighborhood, right? It's probably not. Again, it really depends on the neighborhood. If it's the type of neighborhood where it's like neighbors know each other, it's like all friendly and kind, I could see that happening, leading the kid. But still, that's 10-year-old in the. I don't know.
Where we had a hoop set up. I shot around for a while, doing little games with myself, pretending I was down by one with a buzzer shot. I was sweating a little from running back and forth, and at one point, I stopped to catch my breath.
Herbert's here.
I bounced the ball.
Yeah, I know Herbert from Family Guy. He's watching. GG.
Looked around the neighborhood as I caught my breath. That's when I looked up toward the house. At the upstairs window, someone was staring down at me.
Yep.
It was only a shadow behind the glass at first.
Yeah, Herbert's looking at you,
Someone
man.
was standing back from the sunlight. I stared for a good second or two before the shape shifted slightly, and I realized it wasn't some kind of trick from the sun. Someone was up there at the window, looking out at the street. None of my family was supposed to be home. My sister was at.
Hold on, is it someone in your house or another house? Let's replay. I was listening.
I shadowed behind the upstairs as I caught my up to catch my breath.
Catch your breath.
I bounced the ball lazily and
Yep.
looked around the neighborhood as I caught my breath.
Yep.
That's when I looked up toward the house.
What house? Whose house? Be more. Your house? What house? Toward the house. Whose house? Who? What? When? Why? How? Which house? Your house? Whose house?
At the upstairs window, someone was staring down.
Okay, but is it your house though? Your house? You can't just say the house. Whose house? I hate
It was
this.
only a shadow behind the glass. Sun. Family was supposed to be home. My sister was at college, my dad was at work, and my mom was across town buying groceries.
GG.
I dropped the basketball without meaning to. The window was my sister's room.
So it's your house, and someone's in there. How does that even... How is that even possible? Were you like distracted playing basketball, someone slipped behind you and went into your house? Wait, who's carrying the keys? How do you get in the house? Was your door just unlocked? This is so scuffed.
The blinds were half open, and the figure was right behind them. I say figure because that's all I saw. No distinguishable features. I didn't know what else to do except run inside and see who was home.
What? Yo! Hey, there's a stranger in my house. I'm 10 years old. Let's go inside with him. Oh my goodness. It's so over.
I ran around the side of
Again though, it is a 10-year-old kid. Blame the mother 100%. It's obviously the mum's fault.
the house and through the backyard gate.
Wait, what?
See who was home. I ran around the side of the house and through the backyard gate. I burst inside and slammed it shut behind me. I yelled up the stairs asking who was home. My voice cracked when I yelled it. For a second, I didn't hear anything. Then a voice answered, yelled it behind me and through the back, except run inside and see who was home. I ran around the side
of the home.
Of the house and through the backyard gate.
Through the backyard gate.
I burst inside and slammed it shut behind.
You burst inside, slammed it behind you. So you're telling me that someone can enter your house by just going to the side of your house and entering the backyard, and they have access to the house. So while you're playing basketball out in the front of your house, you're telling me someone can just come to the side of your house and just enter your house.
Behind me. I yelled up the stairs asking who was home. My voice cracked when I yelled it. For a second, I didn't hear anything. Then a voice answered from upstairs. It said, "Brad, come upstairs." It wasn't my mom, it wasn't my sister, and it wasn't my dad.
Okay, so they run away.
It was deeper than any of their voices, but not deep like a grown man trying to sound scary. It sounded like someone trying to sound normal. I didn't go anywhere near the stairs. I ran straight through the house, grabbed the house phone off the kitchen counter, and sprinted back outside.
Okay.
As fast as I could.
Okay.
I called my mom and told her someone was in the house, and she didn't believe me at first. She told me that's not something to joke about, and she said that she was almost done shopping. But I started basically crying into the phone, telling her I wasn't joking, telling her I heard someone call my name from inside, and they're at the upstairs window. She finally believed me when I started sobbing and begging her to come home. She said she was leaving the store right now.
Call the police.
After she hung up, she must have called the police.
Yep.
Because a cop car pulled up at the same time my mom's car turned into the driveway. She ran to me asking where I saw the person. I pointed to the upstairs window. The police went in first. My mom followed them inside after a minute or two. I waited out front. I didn't want to go back in there. For 10 minutes, I just stood there, staring at the upstairs window. No one appeared at it again. Eventually, one of those officers came out and told me it was safe to come inside.
Yep.
I went in and pointed upstairs to the room where I saw the man. They checked the closets, under the bed, behind the dresser. They even checked the attic. They checked every room in the house. They didn't find anyone or anything. After the police left, my mom started acting doubtful again. She said she believed me, but I could tell she didn't fully. She said if she found out I was messing around, I'd be punished for scaring her and wasting the police's time. I kept telling her I wasn't lying. She kept saying she knew, but her voice said something else. That night, I had trouble falling asleep. I kept thinking about the voice and that shadow behind the blinds. But eventually, I got tired enough to drift off. I don't know what time it was when I woke up. It was still dark out, and at first I thought I woke up from a bad dream. But then I heard something in my room, just loud enough to wake me. I sat upright in my bed. My eyes were still adjusting to the dark, but I could see the outlines of my room. I could see my dresser, my closet door cracked open, my shelves, and across the room, not far from my bed, I saw something else. An unfamiliar shape. A tall, dark shape, standing completely still. For a second, I thought I was imagining it, but then the slightest movement made me realize what it was. It was a person, a full-grown person standing in my bedroom. I didn't even have time to breathe. I just screamed, a loud, broken scream that tore out of my throat. As soon as I screamed, the figure moved, fast. It darted across my room in 2 steps, grabbed my window, slid it open, and jumped out.
Yo, hold on now, what?
I heard the man's feet land on the small awning below the window. My parents burst into the room as soon as I screamed. My dad ran straight to the window and looked out. Then he ran downstairs and out the back door to try to find whoever it was. I'm fairly certain he ran out there barefoot. He came back a few minutes later out of breath. He kept shaking his head and saying he didn't see anyone. They called the police again, but that time it was mostly just to file another incident report and for the cops to scout the area. We don't know how long he was in the house. All I know is he was inside during the day, long enough to know my name, and he was watching me from my sister's window and he stayed in the house until nightfall. That, or he snuck in and out of the house through my bedroom window by climbing up on that awning. Either way, he was in my room while I slept, standing there in the dark. Who knows what else he did while he was in the house?
I don't know that last story, to be honest. That last story is a bit... He might be tripping, I ain't gonna lie. Kid might be just tripping. Again though, still mother's fault, I would be honest. It's definitely the mother's fault for leaving the child at home alone, right? 10 years old, still the mother's fault. But also, the kid might be just tripping. Might just be seeing... Might just be his imagination. Not really sure, but... I'm gonna be honest though, the fact that if the police searched the house thoroughly, there would have been no way that the police wouldn't have found a grown man. So, by the time the police left, how would the man even get onto your and get back into the house without you guys knowing? You know, that's a hard to believe story at the end. Last one, kid might just be tripping. I ain't gonna lie. Kid might just have been seeing a figure, because you know it's like might have just been seeing a figure. Might not be real. Last one's definitely a bit of a hard one to believe. The fact that the police searched the whole house, couldn't find a grown-ass man, and somehow the grown-ass man's back in your room at night. Hard to believe. Very hard to believe. Let's read it. Let's read the comments. Second story was the best one I heard in a while. Don't F with grandpa. That's still there. That's still the grandpa's fault. The stone kid had better survival instincts than the past sober adults. Respect for the grandpa for risking his life to save his family. No, it was El Grandpa. He left the kid in the first place. I remember the story. Second, Grandpa's not even a badass. The grandpa is a dumbass. The grandpa's a dumbass because he left the kid in the first place and negotiated with him. I don't give a shit. No, grandpa's a dumbass. Y'all keep praising the grandpa. No, he's the one that left in the first place. Manson dumping Neil as friends without warning. Parents don't believe the kids are the worst. Manson in the story 3 isn't a real friend. Well, I mean, he already said that in the beginning. He doesn't even know the dude. Doesn't even keep in contact, so... Grandpa don't F around. But the guy just said that Manson's not even a friend. Again, it's the sum of the 5 people he spend the most time with, so that's honestly his fault. Props to hero grandpa. Again, grandpa's the idiot for leaving the child in the first place. Yaki, these people are dumb. No one talks about the 4th story? 4th story gives a lesson on why it's important to leave the windows and doors locked. Well, is the kid's window constantly open? Parents, please listen to your kids. The last story. Again, I don't believe the last story, to be honest, because there's no way the police searched the whole house and somehow the guy got back into the house. Like, that's hard to believe. That's hard to believe. The last story is really hard to believe, considering that the police already checked sweep the whole house, found nobody, and somehow the man is still in the house at nighttime. How is that even possible? And the father's back as well. How is that even possible? That doesn't even make sense. Whatever. Oh, that was only 24 minutes. Should we do an extra one? True Christmas stories? Hell yeah. Let's do that one. That's 32 minutes. We'll probably split this into threes, fours. Okay. We'll do story 1. We'll do 1 story and then that's basically it for today. We'll do 1 story and then that's basically it. Just story 1 by Greg. Alright. 1 story, let's go.
My name is Gregory. And this happened last December when I was home alone in my house for a whole week.
Okay, home alone.
My girlfriend had gone to stay with her parents for the holidays.
Okay, so girlfriend, so you must be like an adult then?
And I stayed behind because of work.
Okay, you're an adult.
I live in a quiet neighborhood in a small town in upstate New York.
Okay.
The houses are pretty spaced out, and most of the people on my block go away for Christmas. So I basically had the whole street to myself.
Can't really say that.
First, I liked the idea of the peace and quiet. I thought I would get a lot of rest and maybe catch up on some shows and just enjoy the coziness of the holidays for a bit. But what happened that week still lives rent-free in my head. It was on my second night alone. It was around 6:30 and already completely dark outside.
Okay.
It had been snowing lightly all day.
Snow?
There was a white layer on my yard and driveway. I was in the kitchen making a simple dinner, just pasta and chicken.
Facts.
Usually my girlfriend is the one to cook our meals. I'm not much of a chef. I turned on the TV in the background to make the house feel less empty.
True.
As happy as I was to have the place to myself for a bit, I wasn't used to it being so empty and quiet in here.
Yo, relax. Your girlfriend's gone, but like, bro, you cannot be that like depressed for like, you can't be like that. Oh, the house is so quiet now. What? What you talking about?
While I was eating at the table, I heard something unusual.
Dude, this guy's like talking like being a Home Alone's like scary. He's an adult though. Like what? Like the moment his girlfriend leaves, he's like, "Oh my god, I'm home alone. The first time. Wow. What? What's wrong with you?"
It really took me a second to figure out what it was. It sounded like singing. I muted the TV and listened. The sound was definitely coming from outside. The singing got a little clearer, and I realized the person was singing Jingle Bells. At first I thought maybe some neighborhood kids were playing around outside, but the voice didn't sound like a kid. It sounded like a grown man. I got up and walked toward the front door because that seemed like the direction.
Oh, random thing. This morning when I was driving, like, what day is it? Today's the 26th of December, right? Just a quick story from myself. This morning, I was driving around with Osmo. I actually was driving around with Osmo. I have the footage, but I'm not going to share it online yet. It's just going to be in the archives until I feel like it. But when I was in the... Actually, I think I stored the video. I could actually show you guys the clip. But this morning, when I was driving around in the town to test out Osmo's capabilities on a car, there was this like spaced out drunk dude who literally just walked in front of my car while it was green light, and he was just like drunk out of his. Actually, you guys will see the clip, but like there was a guy there. He was like pretty interesting. You guys probably would see that clip before this Mr. Nightmare video, but yeah, there was like a drunk ass guy or like spaced out dude in the city, and he's just literally walked in front of my car with the green lights on. Like he was just tripping. Anyways,
it was coming from. The closer I got, the louder it got. By the time I reached the door, it sounded like the singing was coming from right on my front stoop. I felt a weird feeling in my stomach, but at that moment, I still thought maybe it was just a caroler. I opened the door, and standing in the glow of my porch light was a man around 35 years old. He wore no hat, and his coat looked too thin for the weather. But the strangest thing was that he was completely focused on singing Jingle Bells, staring down at my welcome mat like he wasn't even aware I opened the door. I remember forcing a little smile because I didn't really know what else to do.
close the door.
I've never gotten Christmas carolers before. But even still, I never heard of a grown man doing it solo. It's supposed to be a group thing from what I know. He didn't look dangerous. He actually just looked sort of confused.
He's drunk.
Or maybe slow. I even wondered if he was special needs or something.
Probably.
He didn't react to me being there. He just kept singing.
Close the door in front of him.
When he finished the song, I expected him to say something, or at least leave. But he just took a breath and started singing Jingle Bells all over again from the beginning in the same slow, offbeat tone.
He's on. Close the door.
Now, he was looking up at me, making direct eye contact.
He's on drugs.
I felt my smile drop because it was just weird now.
Close the door.
I stood there another minute, pretending to listen, even though it felt uncomfortable. I kept thinking he would stop after the second run, but he didn't. He just looped the song. I checked my phone and realized almost 4 minutes had passed while he sang Jingle Bells over and over. Finally, I decided it was enough. I told him thank you in a polite tone, and I slowly closed the door. I thought that would send him on his way, but once the door was closed, I still heard the singing. It continued without even slowing down. I walked back to the table and sat down, trying to ignore it.
Well, hold on, no, you just stand behind the door and just wait until he leaves.
The longer it went on, the harder it was to ignore. The man didn't seem normal, and it bothered me that he was still right outside my door singing the same song. I wondered if maybe he was special needs.
Probably.
And someone was out there with him, like by the street or something, but I didn't see anyone else out there. It made the whole house feel uncomfortable, like someone weird was standing too close to my personal space.
Yeah, he's literally outside your door. Like, tell him to get out, or like, what would I do? Well, they'll be standing outside the gate with like the cameras pointing at him. So he could stand outside the gate all he wants for me. And like if I was in a scenario with a compound, he could just stand outside the gate until like I find him annoying. Just call the police or let him rot outside. You know? He's got to get past through a gate first and then the front door.
I kept eating, but I couldn't focus on the food. It went on for my entire dinner. Finally, after about 10 minutes straight, the singing stopped. The sudden silence actually made me jump because I had gotten used to the singing.
Wait, no, if someone's in front of your door, wouldn't you just like, you know, kinda keep an eye on him? You wouldn't just like leave him alone, no? You would just like, matter of fact, this guy just left him alone and ate his food. Bro, take your plate of food and just kinda, if you have like a window or like a camera, a CC camera, just keep an eye on him. Keep an eye on him. He's already retarded, so keep an eye on him, man. Why would you keep your eye off him? Let me guess. The singing stops. The singing stops. He goes check the front door. The man's gone. Ah, he must have left. No, he's probably still around your house. He's probably like in your backyard or something now. GG. Or somehow found a way in your house. This guy's... Keep an eye on him, man. You should have keep an eye on him.
I got up slowly and walked back to the front door window.
So there was a front door window the whole time, and you weren't watching him the whole time. You were just...
When I looked outside,
he's gone.
I expected to see the man gone.
No, he's still there?
But he was still there.
Okay.
He had moved.
What?
Now he was standing at the end of my driveway.
Oh.
He was just facing my house, completely still. He was no longer singing. At least I couldn't hear anything from here. He was just standing there in the snow, staring at the door. Something about that felt worse than the singing. He looked like he was waiting. I opened the door a crack and told him he couldn't be here, that this was private property and he needed to leave. He didn't move at all. The whole thing was so unnatural. I finally told him that if he didn't leave, I would call the police. Then I shut the door again.
Keep an eye on him.
Him for another minute from the window.
Okay,
but
smart.
He didn't budge.
Call the
I
police.
didn't want to actually call the cops because I thought maybe there was something mentally wrong with
If he's mentally wrong, then that's a better reason to call the police.
him, and I didn't want to make things worse.
What?
So instead, I decided to just go upstairs, lock my bedroom door,
You ass retarded.
and try to relax.
You keep an eye on him. What are you doing? Keep an eye on him. You really just... This man really just went upstairs and closed his room like a little kid.
I checked out the window upstairs
Okay,
before
smart.
changing into bedclothes. The man was gone from the driveway. Thank God.
He's not gone. Let me guess. He's not gone. You should have kept an eye on him until he left. How did you know he walked out to the street? How did you know he didn't walk into your house? Or like walked... Don't know how your house looks like, but how do you know he didn't walk to the side of your house? Or like up your driveway more? You're on the second floor with your driveway window. Hold on, you're upstairs. Does your... He should have kept an eye on the man. The man's obviously not... The man's definitely in his house or like somewhere nearby because, you know, if you're looking from the upstairs window, he could be back at your front door. You don't know. I don't know how his house looks like, but what do you mean by thank God he's gone? That's bad. Because you don't even know if he left or not.
I figured the threat worked.
No.
I got into bed, turned on a lamp, and started reading
Yo, you're not gonna like check the house? You're not gonna go back down, like scan, check? GG.
my book.
GG. Oh,
Wind
so
down.
he's gonna...
Maybe 20 minutes went by when I heard something from behind the house.
I told you to keep an eye on the man. I told you to keep an eye on the guy. He's behind your house. It's over.
I knew instantly what it was, unfortunately.
This is the man.
It was the same man singing Jingle Bells again, except now it was coming from my backyard.
Yo, call the police.
I jumped out of bed and went to the back window. When I looked down, not only was he directly inside of my backyard, he was already looking up at my window.
Oh, my, GG.
The man was in my backyard standing in the snow directly below my bedroom window. He was looking straight up at me while he sang. I slid open the window and yelled at him that I was calling the police. The singing stopped instantly.
Should have just called the police. Why'd you even tell him that? Why'd you provoke him more?
He stood there in total silence for about 3 seconds. Then
He started rattling the back door. He started rattling and get in the house. Oh, it's over.
he suddenly burst into a full sprint toward the back door on the lower
I can read these so easily. It's so easy to read them. It's over. You provoked him and now he's gonna come inside and shut you up.
level. The second he was out of my view, I heard the most insane sound I've ever heard in my life.
I'm gonna kill you.
He started screaming at the top of his lungs, not like a normal scream. It sounded like a death metal singer, but even more insane and deranged. It echoed across the yard and through the entire house. Then came the banging. The back door shook violently as he kicked it, slammed into it, and probably tried ripping the doorknob off. I felt the vibrations from the impacts in my upstairs
Oh, it's
bedroom.
so over.
I realized this guy wasn't just weird. He was trying to get inside.
Yeah.
I grabbed my phone and called 911 right away. I begged them to hurry, telling them a man was trying to break in. I stayed on the line while holding a baseball bat with my other hand. I backed into my bedroom closet and shut myself in.
What? Why would you put another layer? You stand at your stand at your goddamn door. Why would you go into the closet? Are you a little kid? Stand in your front door and be like, boom, or like, at least, oh, it really depends on how big this,
Operator told me to stay hidden.
but he knows you're in the
Still
bedroom.
heard screams and bangs from downstairs, and every second felt like he was going to break through. Then, just as suddenly as they started, the bangs stopped.
And then burst through the window.
Everything went silent except for my breathing. I didn't know if he left or if he got inside.
Because you hid yourself
I stayed
deeper.
completely still in the closet until the police arrived. They checked the entire outside of the house and confirmed the back door was still locked. The operator said I could come out and meet them. When I stepped outside to greet them, I finally felt like I could breathe again.
Nah, it's not over.
We walked around the backyard and saw deep footprints in the snow, showing exactly where he had stood while singing to me through the window, and where he had run up to the back door.
Wait, how did you get into your back?
Then led off into the woods behind my property.
Ah, one of those
Went to
houses.
followed the trail a little bit, but came back because it apparently wasn't worth going deep into the woods at night.
Facts.
They acted like it wasn't a big deal. They told me people act strange all the time, and that as long as I kept my doors locked, I should be fine.
Maybe put a
They
compound,
didn't seem very interested in finding him, and that bothered me a lot.
because he's gonna
I
come
was
back.
too shaken up to argue. After they left, the house felt horribly empty and cold. I kept every door and window locked and double-checked them over and over. At that point, I was over the alone time and just wanted my girlfriend back home.
That's not gonna help you, is it? That's a worse scenario. That's you know what? Like, if you're a smart man, you'd be like, yo, girlfriend, stay at your parents' home until I like build like a fence around this place. Don't invite her back. That's just gonna make it worse scenario. Don't even. This guy's dumb. I mean, he's already dumb. We knew that, but like, this is just even worse. Yo, if he was smart, he would be like, okay, let's improve the security measures first before I, want my girlfriend back home. Let's, maybe put a fence, a compound, a gate, a second layer, some cameras, CCTVs. It's already proven that a crazy man can just walk into your backyard like nothing. So maybe fix that before you invite your girlfriend back over, who's more dumber. Because obviously, yeah, and it probably will probably make the man come back. Like, the man will probably. Oh, so
I went down to my parents' place for Christmas Eve and Christmas, thankfully. As far as that man, he never returned. At least, not that I know of.
improve the security of your house. All right, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate it for you just chilling. That was a long episode of Mr. Nightmare, like two episodes of Home Alone and one episode of Christmas. The guy in the first story is definitely a bit, what we can learn is keep an eye on the guy. Don't just leave him alone. And especially if the fact that your house doesn't have any kind of like security measures, so he could literally enter your backyard without going through some kind of fence or gate. You've got no security cameras. You didn't keep an eye on him. Matter of fact, you just went to bed like nothing happened. Obviously, he should have kept an eye on him if he even like Yeah, and then also, if you saw him in the backyard, trying to you provoked him by saying, "I'm gonna call the police now," and then that gave him an excuse to. And then you hid in your, and then you hid in the closet with zero vision, so the guy just could just walk away. Because honestly, if he's trying to break in your house, the police and sirens, either sirens or no sirens, the police can easily. He'll know if the police is there and just run off, or he'll know when the police are. The story one's definitely just one of the retarded things. Call the police. You know, he's obviously mentally insane. The fact that you didn't keep an eye on him in the first 10 minutes is already stupid. Should have kept an eye on him like 5 minutes, 3 minutes straight. Call the police. This guy's not leaving, right? But you left him for 10 minutes, and then you decide to go in your upstairs bedroom, look out the window, and then you see him gone, and you go, "Oh, he's gone." He's not. He's obviously in your backyard. Vision, security. Yeah, alright. Well, that was it, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, this guy's retarded. But it is what it is. Hopefully you guys learned something.